Our instinct and the way we have been taught is that fear means danger, that we need to stop, hide, protect ourselves. But what if fear is an indicator for our soul's compass, pointing towards necessary transformation that scares you the most? I have been terrified of being seen for most of my entire life, starting from really super shyness when I was a little girl and then throughout my teenage years, and getting to a point of super visual insecurity in front of camera. And only recently I came to the understanding that actually this has been mostly about the terror of having my own vision upon my own life and my own destiny, and taking the responsibility to fulfill it. The Japan videos I made throughout 2025 are my guinea pigs. Through them, I learned a lot, and one essential key is to be at peace with both a 5K video views or 20 video views. I am deeply grateful to each and everyone who gave them any bit of attention, as well as to my 68 subscribers who watched me stumble through them like a toddler learning how to walk. And I'm hoping it has brought you some love and light. Thank you to each of you so much for just being there. Watching those videos now makes me cringe because I criticize myself pretty much. But making them was revolutionary. For the first time, I experienced myself, I saw myself. Wow, that's a very low helicopter. For the first time, I experienced myself from multiple angles. I'm like the one having the actual experience and traveling through Japan, the one wanting to share about that, the one selecting what to share in a video, then scripting it, filming it, editing it with a really, really old laptop, posting on YouTube, reviewing it. And yeah, I did, thank God, I did pass that phase where you're like, no views, nobody's watching, someone's watching. And then you get conditioned by the fact that you don't want to do them anymore if nobody's watching. I have now overcome that, thank God. So there is light after that. Each perspective I saw of myself throughout this whole process has been revealing something I couldn't see from just one vantage point, which was mostly just in my head, the idea that I want to do this. Just wanting to do them is not enough. Doing them and then reviewing what you've done is essential. Essential. It was a wholesome experience and I highly recommend it if you truly want to know yourself. December came as a break, with my mom's birthday in the beginning, and then Christmas, and then New Year's holiday. And I happily kept myself invisible off camera, having nothing to do with this, taking a really good distance, doing house chores and preparations for all these holidays. And January prolonged this break with a really exhausting flu with fever. Still recovering. Perhaps you can hear it in my nose and voice. This whole time gave me space to realize a few things about making videos, including the fact that my visuals are acceptable. Because, yeah, like everything is going in another direction on my face, because that's how my symmetry is. But I decided that it's acceptable. It's acceptable. It's good. I can go with this. And also, I realized that what I am called to talk about is actually more relevant and more inspiring. And it is based on years of personal spiritual study and spiritual practice. What matters is the shift in perspective that I've gone through. I no longer shrink because of other people's expectations. And I can now discern between spiritual and personal truth. The second, personal truth, is convenient. The first, the spiritual truth, is valid and it shines from any angle you look at. So if this speaks to you, welcome in my life. If it doesn't, thank you for your little attention and I wish you a great life. Make the best with what you believe in and make it count. It really matters. 2026 starts a new era for the whole humanity. We've not been here astrologically. The way planets are positioned in the sky and the way this positioning influences us has never happened before. And let's make this really matter. The universe is helping us grow. So as far as I'm concerned, in 2026, the videos on this YouTube channel, I will aim to bring more substance in the message and to take my inner state of joy and wonder throughout the process of making them as the marking point for self-validation. Not the views, not the comments, though I want the conversation with you guys. And not the number of subscribers. Although, again, I do want to share this with as many who resonate with what I have to say. But it's a decision that my own worth and self-validation comes from my enjoying the process. I really love doing this. Also, I aim for bringing deep spiritual value to give you an impulse in your own life, to inspire you to stop apologizing for your own greatness and stop doubting your own beauty and start living as God's Spirit, exploring this 3D world with joy, curiosity, and excitement. Earlier on, I mentioned my fear of being visible. It didn't start with making these YouTube videos. It's been a pattern my entire life, and I think the first time I remember it was when I was 2 and I was supposed to go up on stage and say a poem or something in front of my colleagues in kindergarten, and I didn't dare to do that unless my teacher was right there next to me and looking straight into my eyes with a supportive smile. That made me relax and able to say it, and I couldn't look at anybody else but her. Later on, the first time when I tried to step forward, I was building a website called Heart Connected. And it was intended as a space where people could connect based on their spiritual aspirations, their connection in the heart, and transcending choice of religion, culture, or race. And my then spiritual teacher told me I was unripe to do that I was lazy, and that I was not ready. That was not encouraging me to move on. A few years later, I was involved in filming some tantric techniques for couples together with my boyfriend back then. And there was a selection. He was selected, but with another woman. And when I asked the producer, why with another woman? We are a couple, why not together? I was told, because you don't look good on screen. Take this rejection as an opportunity to make yourself look better on screen. I took that as a wake-up call and an opportunity to make better choices of people in my life. Some years later, I tried again because there is this inner calling in me that makes me keep coming back to it. So I made a new website called Souls Connected. And this time I was determined to make no videos, not show my face like on screen, just to make, to write blog posts and to do one-on-one coaching. And I did this for a couple of years and I saw real results, people's lives. I met new people who told their friends, and their lives were actually changing for the good. But I also realized it was so limiting at some point and that I needed to reach more people. I knew I need to make videos. I tried to team up with a friend for making videos, where my friend would be the face in front of camera and I would be everything else behind the camera. But she told me, you are the brain behind this. You must become visible. And that freaked me out so completely that I shut down the entire website and I stopped coaching, despite having visible results and despite impacting people's lives. I just stopped because I needed a solution and I perceived her awareness feedback as a rejection again. So the idea of standing in front of a camera triggered this lifetime pattern of hiding in the background, because every time I stepped forward, some authority figure pushed me back. You belong in the background. So I made myself essential there, doing the heavy work. And it was a good lesson in humbleness, but it also created a breach in my self-esteem. Luckily, due to continuous perseverant work with spiritual development, modern personal spiritual development, now I can tell the difference. I can discern between self-esteem and self-worth. Self-esteem is based on the things that I do that others appreciate me for. Self-validation is kind of replaced by other people's validation. Self-worth, on the other hand, which I'm happy now I can relate and understand and feel deeply inside me. Self-worth, as I was saying, is based on who I truly am, my godly essence. And that's regardless of what I do and when I do it, on how well I do it. It's something that never changes. It's that thing within that keeps looking for solutions, that keeps me resilient, that keeps me look at things from another angle until eventually I get a clearer perspective or I complete an inner puzzle. And then I'm at peace with myself, regardless what I do, when I do, knowing this is what I'm meant to do. This is my soul's choice, my destiny, and I will fulfill it one step at a time. So the inner calling to become visible and express my perspective and share my perspective with more people than just a few that I can meet one-on-one got louder and louder until it became impossible to shut down. And it was during that time that something remarkable happened, a synchronicity that I want to share with you. One morning, I was watching an interview with Taka from One Ok Rock, a Japanese rock band. And the interviewer asked Taka, what do Japanese bands need in order to succeed globally? And without hesitation, Taka replied, spirit. Kiai desu, he said in Japanese. And that same morning, probably like half an hour later, I was having my online tantra class, and my teacher was asked a similar question. What is the source of all creativity? And my then tantra teacher said spirit. The Japanese term that Taka had used was kiai desu. And that meant, like a rough translation, is like the action of spirit. Like a surge of willpower breaking through resistance. Whereas what my teacher was referring to was tamashi. More like the soul itself, the spirit in constant creative action. Two different expressions of the same divine essence, spirit, that is moving us through our lives. And this synchronicity taught me something profound. I don't have to choose between the spiritual and the worldly, like the business. It doesn't mean I should make a spiritual business. It just means they reflect each other and they follow the same divine laws, like the law of truth, the law of harmony, the law of genuine love. You know, it is often being mentioned in various spiritual traditions, and it's recommended to be in the eye of the storm. But to me, it became more like a revelation of seeing that I am already in the middle of a miracle. It doesn't have to be a storm. What if it is a miracle? What if it is a circumstance, my entire life? What if it is a miracle in itself? And I should just learn to look at it like that, rather than be afraid of it, or be in the background, or be put down by someone who is bigger than me, who tells me I belong in the background, or any of those things. How would my life change if I saw it that I am just in the middle of a miracle? I realized that God was showing me the truth appears everywhere when we are ready to see it. And this is where the name Let Spirit was born. But naming it and building it are two different things. For the next 4 years after that, my vision upon my own life from within my inner world kept expanding. And while so much more is still unfolding and becoming clearer as I engage with developing this spiritual coaching platform and YouTube channel, this is what showed me the path. That synchronicity with Taka and my tantra teacher, two people I admire and love from completely different environments and sides of the world, pointing to the same truth, spirit. As I started to get more and more inspiration about Let Spirit platform, as I was saying, a spiritual coaching platform with courses, online courses and materials that I'm working on at the moment, as well as this YouTube channel. But also, I started to want to write books. So yes, that's also coming in the years to follow. I realized I cannot do this and keep my job. So I quit my job as a masseuse. And I decided to focus fully on developing this vision upon my life. And the plan was to be really fast and put it all together in 3 months. Now I realize it might take me 3 years. I accept it now. And since Let Spirit is a calling that I am following, I now live minimally, by the grace of God, with no income, but with some unexpected support. While it doesn't fit social norms, this turns out to be a good and free life. And I know it's only for a period because the resources are needed. My laptop is old and a lot of other things are necessary. But for now, it's exactly where I need to be.
And is it scary sometimes? Yeah. Like, given all the news and what's happening in the world right now, what if the Third World War actually breaks out, or anything else dumb that they want to set themselves up to in order to define their territories? Or what if I suddenly get really sick? Like just having the flu and this high fever, now recovering it was really a lot, and it just kept me off. Like I couldn't even think properly, not to mention filming anything. But then again, what if I succeed in bringing light and goodness to many people on this planet by following this calling and being perseverant? What if I somehow find all the resources that I need along the way while I'm doing it? What if I believe that spirit inside me who is guiding me? What if I listen and follow along and choose fear as a indicator where to go, rather than as a reason to stop doing what I feel to do? What if I do find resources, including for going to a BTS concert this year, and I really, really want to go to at least one concert? What if I choose to trust that inner voice inside me that guides me, and which I have shut down, and we often do based on all kind of logic and reasoning and worries and concerns? What if we stop that and we start looking for resources in the issue we are facing itself? What if the problem does come with the solution? Here's the thing about which I mentioned earlier. Remember, I said I learned I don't have to choose between the spiritual and the worldly. This desire, this pull I feel towards BTS, this isn't separate from my spiritual development. It's a part of it, and it's a big part of it. In fact, have you ever wondered, what if your attractions aren't distractions from your spiritual growth? What if they are taking you towards your spiritual growth, or through it? Most of us who are in pursuit of spirituality in any form have been trained to pathologize what moves us, to apologize for our intensity, to dim down our sensitivities, to stop making connections between apparently disconnected things because it's illogical. We hide what lights us up because it doesn't look spiritual enough. But attractions can point to qualities we are meant to develop and share with others, or which we already have, most likely, but are unaware about. And they also point to wounds, probably, that need healing, to resources that come with the issues themselves, and to aspects of ourselves that we have forgotten. And none of it is a detour, it is a directive. And this is what Let Spirit is about. Let Spirit is about learning to see every experience, even the one that seems shallow or embarrassing, as an invitation to come home to your true godly self. At the core of Let Spirit is what I call the Spirit Center. That still center inside our chest, inside our consciousness, where we can hold opposites. You and I, we can hold fire and gentleness. We can hold love and boundaries, where we can hold our own needs, your needs, and other people's needs without losing ourselves. This is where real power lies, I believe. Not the power to control others, but the power to respond from your essence, instead of reacting from your wounds. This spirit center isn't empty, it is full. It is full of presence, full of possibilities, full of the intelligence of the heart that knows exactly how to respond and when to whatever arises. The spirit center is where you stop organizing your life around fear, insecurity, doubt, or what others expect, or what you expect from others. And you start orienting toward what is actually true and alive in you, what you believe about you. Test it, develop it further. There's always plenty of space for more development. This spirit center is not a fixed state that you achieve. It is more like a constant reorientation toward what is godly within you and outside of you as well. And here's what changes. You stop trying to fix yourself, to heal yourself into wholeness, and you start recognizing you are already walking on holy ground. Your nervous system exits the survival mode. Your actions become simpler and cleaner, precise. Love no longer requires you to erase yourself. From the spirit center, you gain the clarity to know which situations are growing you and which ones are grinding you down. You learn to work with what is without spiritualizing what shouldn't be tolerated. You develop the discernment to know when to stay and transform and when to leave and preserve your energy. The spirit center isn't about becoming God. It is an inner point inside of you, which is about coming into the right relationship with the divine essence that is already giving you breath, that is already keeping you alive. Let Spirit is about making spirit tangible, embodied, alive in your daily life, not as monks or hermits, although we are learning a lot from Tibetan Buddhism and Vedic teachings, but as partners, as parents, children, professionals, creators, entrepreneurs, like human beings navigating the full spectrum of existence with grace and authenticity, being true to ourselves, not longer hiding, not longer running away from us. So if you want fulfillment that lasts, fulfillment that doesn't depend on external validation or extreme efforts, but grows from living as an embodied spirit, I can help. I want to help. Write me in the comments, because this is about reclaiming your femininity, your erotic energy, your soul's vitality, and lifting it to a higher register where it becomes creativity, presence, and joy of life, all for this existence. This is about developing intimacy with God, divine euphoric intimacy, and living life on your terms. Of course, we live in 3D world, and of course there are specific rules to this planet. We cannot bypass that. But we can still live within those confinements with awe, discovering the beauty of this corner of the world. Try this, for example. Think about something or someone you're drawn to that other people around you, friends, family, don't understand you. Instead of defending it, dismissing it, hiding, ask yourself, what qualities does that thing or person that I admire embody? What do those qualities permission me to feel or be? How might my soul be asking me to develop these qualities myself? And as I already said, my attraction to Taka and One Ok Rock led me to develop this spiritual platform and call it Let's Spirit. My current attraction for Jungkook and BTS will for sure reveal further insights about how to live life fully, authentically, and fulfill my destiny. So what about you? I would love it if you write in the comments your discoveries. What attraction in your life might actually be an assignment from your soul? I really want to know. And if you're still here, as we are approaching the end of the video, you must have felt something, and that is resonance. Your soul resonating with my soul, common aspirations, common values, our souls together resonating with true divine life. Let's walk this path together. Let's spirit.